Shalom. I would like to begin the lesson off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders listeners. Learn that the Aqua also I say Shalom. It is your brother Haratazar Gabar back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, in peace and sincerity. I mentioned this video yesterday in my lesson, but I just wanted to go ahead and damn, I just realized I made this a live lesson. Nonetheless, though, just wanted to do a lesson on it real quick. So I was gonna make a lesson, maybe two. While I'm out here on this little license, if you see and look how this woman is acting, I'm gonna try and refrain from using profane language. But what the Jake woman doesn't realize is that we don't need you to continue in the world who are leaving and finding themselves women and wives of the other nations because they don't have to put up and deal with the bullshit like this woman is putting this man through in this video. If I was that dude, I would have just left instantly as soon as she started doing what she was doing or acting all erratic and stuff. I would have left, and it would have been the end of the conversation. I wouldn't even got married. It would just that would have nipped that whole relationship in the bud. I would have been over with for me. But you also can't get to a point. How do you get to a point? Let me just go ahead and play the video. Fair use.
To have and to hold from this day forth.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poor.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And obey. To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And obey.
I'm not saying that word.
Say it.
I'm not saying that word. I'm not obeying anybody. I don't obey anybody, especially him. So you can continue without that word. Cherish. I'm not obeying nobody. I'm not saying that word. You think I'm about to start my life off obeying a man? Never. I'm not obeying anybody.
Say it, girl.
So we can continue.
Like she talking about something, you think I'm gonna start my life off obeying on a man? This woman is at least 40 years old, and now I would say that's a pretty accurate estimate. I know for damn sure she's not a virgin. So you're wearing a white dress and portraying as if you're holy, which all these women do this. She's not the only one, but as to say you're not gonna obey or submit to your husband, these women, they don't realize that very soon, number one, feminism. I've already done a history lesson on feminism. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't, under my history lessons. Feminism have led these women to believe that they are equal to a man, and in the eyes of the Lord, men and women are not equal. So that whole conversation, that whole ideology is not of the Lord, okay? That's number one. Number two, she says she's not going to start her life off obeying a man. Like I said, very soon these women are going to have a choice. Once Isaiah 4:1 kicks in with the Spirit have been heavy on brothers to do lessons and bring that prophecy up again, it just goes to show you. Remember now, we at the start of the second half of the year. The second half of the game, pretty much, is like I've been referring to it as this whole year. A lot has already happened in the first half. And the second half is going to be even better, Lord willing. But very soon, these women are not going to have a choice when it comes to I don't want to obey a man. I don't want to follow a man. I don't want to do this and that. He talked to me wrong, girl, so I don't want to be with him no more. right? Because in this society, the women have the authority to make decisions or make choices as to who they deal with. And you have a lot of men who is not really even fucking with these women no more when it even comes to that. And a lot of these, we still have simps around, yes, but a lot of these men are realizing that these women have been pedestalized for too long, and think they are actually what's the word I'm looking for? Entitled to something. When they don't bring nothing, they don't bring. A lot of these women don't bring anything of value into your life. I'm not saying all, for the sisters out there listening, but most of them don't. She's just bringing this nigga, she's not even bringing this man peace. She's bringing this man a headache. That's already starting off on the wrong foot. Because just imagine if this nigga decides to stay with her and they continue in marriage for a long time. That's why you be having to counsel these men nowadays be deleting their whole families, deleting their women, and then on the Edomite side, deleting their selves. Because these women be putting niggas through hell. But like I said, it ain't like I said, it's what the scriptures say. Isaiah, the 32nd chapter, the 9th verse through the 11th verse. The vengeance shall fail. So all these games, these tricks, these things that women have done in the past that have worked for them to get over on niggas, right? This and that. Very soon the Lord is going to flip the script, like I always say. He's going to flip the script. And these women are going to be begging to have a man. They're going to be searching and seeking out a man. More specifically, a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But they're going to be looking for that coupling in that hole. Isaiah 32:2. They're going to be looking for that protection. They ain't going to look over a man or have options. No. We're going to have the options. We're going to pick and choose which one of you witches we want to deal with. You doing too much like this woman? Oh, you kick to the curb. That's very real. In the times that we're in, and the times that we're about to be in, that's going to come to pass, Isaiah 4:1.
We can continue without me saying that word.
Small ceremony at your parents' house, so
I don't care where it is.
We've got the officiant.
Vows are vows, and you have to abide by them. And that word, obey, I'm definitely not obeying you. No.
So she's saying vows are vows, but and telling this nigga he has to abide by them, but she not even following what this fake ass pastor preacher nigga is telling them to say. So who are you to even tell this nigga what to say? You know what I'm saying? That woman got some nerve, bro. If this is the ancient world, I probably would put that bitch to sleep.
I'm not ever. Don't. I'm not trying to show off, but I'm not obeying. I'm not saying that word obey. I am not. I am not. We either gonna continue or we can leave. We can leave because I'm not saying that word obey. You can continue, Pastor.
Do you want to try to
go ahead and continue? I'm not saying obey. You can obey. I'm not saying obey. I'm not obeying nobody. I would never obey a man.
So like I said, man, the look is what I meant to say. Because as you can see, she said she ain't obeying nobody. That's the Lord is included in that. You ain't gonna obey nobody. The Lord is included in that. 1 Peter 3:1. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. Right? What does the word subjection mean? To arrange under, to subordinate, to subject, put in subjection, to subject oneself, obey, to submit to one's control, to yield to one's admonition, or advice, to obey, be subject.
Strong's G 5293. Upatasso.
Okay? So, the Lord is instructing these women to be in subjection unto their man, meaning obey him. So if you're not doing that, then you're not falling after the ways of the Lord. If you're saying you don't want to be in subjection to your man, okay. These women be wanting men to come into their lives and lead them, but they don't want to follow instruction. So they're just like, what's the word I'm looking for? That's almost like I can't think of the word, Salakia. You contradicting yourself is what I'm trying to say. You're contradicting yourself, you know. Let me get this. So, of course, in the book of Genesis, we know that a man leaves his family and cleaves unto his wife, and they become one, right? When they lay down with each other, that's actually the marriage. But a man starts and begins his own family. You know what I'm saying? Once he gets a wife. Okay, and that's not just pertaining to one woman. That means multiple women. If the Lord sees it fit for him, you know, because there's nothing wrong with that. Now, of course, in this time period we in, it may not be the most profitable thing, but brothers can handle what they can handle. You know, some brothers have multiple wives, some don't. You know, at the end of the day, we still got to be able to focus on the truth first and foremost. So it's really according to what you can handle. And you're in no position to say how many women a brother can have, unless the nigga is doing wickedness, then, or he's slacking off, then go ahead and correct him. But however many women he deal with is that man's business. Let me find this Salakia. Isaiah. Ecclesiastes 36, right? That's what a woman's supposed to be to you. A pillar of rest. You know, she's not supposed to come into your life, make your life a living hell, which a lot of these women do nowadays. Men already go through enough shit on the streets, at work, in the real everyday life. In the real world, we go outside and we literally put our life on the line every day we step out the crib. You think a man want to come back home to a nagging wife? That's why a lot of these men be wanting to delete themselves, bro, because of women like this. That's why I said in my other lessons, stay away from women like this, bro. If she's not bringing peace to your life, stay away from her, bro. Ecclesiastes 36 and 23 in the Good News Translation. If the woman is kind and gentle in her speech, her husband is the most fortunate of men. And as you can see, this nigga is still holding her hand. I would have been dismissed that Salak. I was about to get real foul with my language. I would have dismissed that lady. I wanted to say some choice words, but I'm going to refrain. Verse 24, when a man marries, he gets the finest thing he will ever have, a wife to help and encourage him, right? When a man lays down with a woman, right, he marries her. That marriage is seen as an agreement or a covenant, you could say, in the eyes of the Lord. Not what they doing right now, which is some pagan, heathen customs, dressing up in a white dress, even though you're not no virgin, putting a ring on your finger, symbolizing one of their false gods, right? Because the scriptures don't say nothing about a marriage being a contractual agreement where you gotta sign papers and stuff, and let the state in on what you got going on, right? So then a woman can leave and take half of what you've gotten. That's not what marriage is. But as the scriptures read, man, a wicked woman is given unto the portion of a wicked man. But I want to hit on this some more. 1 Peter 3:2, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whoso adorning, let it not be allowed, so like it, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel, but let it be hidden, man, of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High power of great price. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High power, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. And if the sister Sarah was on the earth right now, she would be slapping that. She would be slapping this lady silly, man. She would be slapping this lady silly, because there ain't no reason as to why she should be acting like that in that manner towards her husband. But hey, we're under the curses, you know. So women desire to rule over their man. Let me get that after this, Baba Kushar. And I'm going to just read verse 5, which is the point in verse 6 in the NLT. This is how the holy women of old made themselves beautiful. They put their trust in the Most High power and accepted the authority of their husband. And as we read up above, it wasn't what you put on, the twinkling, how you made your hair, whatever jewelry you put on, that didn't make you beautiful. What made you beautiful in the eyes of the Lord was following after your man and being under his leadership. That's what made you beautiful as a woman. For instance, and being in meekness, you know what I'm saying, having some type of shamefacedness about yourself. None of these women have shamefacedness no more on the earth. None of them. For instance, Sarah obeyed her husband, Abraham, and called him her master. You are her daughters when you do what is right without fear of what your husbands might do. And let me continue on, because I don't want people to be like, why you stop right there? Because I did. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered, right? Because we have a duty as a man to care, provide, protect our women. And we understand that. But the problem is, in this society, women, starting with Eve, they took a hold of that damn philosophy from Esau Edom. So you have a generation of women now who completely, you know what I'm saying, men haven't completely left their role as a man. You know, some men have went off and it ain't exactly how it's supposed to be, okay? But women have completely abandoned their role as a wife. A lot of these women. Because of course you have men out here who have done the same as well. But a lot of these women have. And in Jacob's Trouble, we're gonna see the first glimpse. It's gonna be very surprising too, to see how these women act in that day. Because we haven't witnessed anything like that, because of where we stay and where we live right now and the times that we in. Because women are at an all-time niggified, aggressive state. As you can see, this woman, her arms already was built up like like Warren Sapp. She looked like she could have been on somebody's offensive line or been like a little edge rusher or something. Cause she already looked like she could pack a punch. I'm gonna be honest, bro. With them arms, she looked real sturdy. And you could tell by the way she was raising her voice that nigga ain't want no smoke. He ain't want no smoke. Can you please calm down? We're at your parents' house. He ain't want to give up for her. Yeah, man. What did I just say I was gonna get? It's a lot. Let me read up so I can remember. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High power adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are. As long as ye do well. I can't remember what it was, but I'm just going to go to Colossians, the 3rd chapter. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it wasn't, I thought about bringing this up to 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. Where it talks about the head of every woman is a man. Colossians 3 and 18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as it is fit in the Lord. So if you're not doing that, you're not following after the ways of the Lord. You following after your own, leaning under your own understanding, as the book of Proverbs says. I believe that's in Proverbs, either Psalms or Proverbs. You leaning unto your own understanding. I believe that's Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. Because just like this woman saying, I don't want to obey to nobody. Imagine a man said that. That's a man of the world. Because when you come into the truth, guess who you got to obey and submit to? Yahweh Shemel Shah. So, women, we have to submit to a higher power. Your ass ain't exempt. It's just as simple as that. You're not exempt. But this, like I said, this philosophy have led them to believe they don't have to answer to nobody. But very soon they're going to be sorely mistaken, and the Lord is going to give them a wake-up call. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing unto the Lord. Exactly. So, wives, submit to your husbands. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually very feminine and beautiful when you listen to your husband. Okay? And it actually brings you closer to the Lord. It brings you closer to the Lord. But, let me see if I can get this. Nobody wants a nagging or quarrelsome wife. Let me see if I can find that. Is that in the... This might be in a different translation. That's why I can't find it. It's a lot. But I'm wondering why you going so slow, my guy. Yeah, thank you. Get out the way, bro. These niggas who got motion, you in the lane, you in the fast lane going slow, bro. So like, let me get back up to speed. But yeah, nobody wants a contentious wife, man. A woman who's just causing problems for you 24/7. But hey, as it says, a wicked woman shall be given the portion of a wicked woman shall be given to a wicked man. Roughly paraphrasing, I know I just butchered it. But yeah, man. Like I said yesterday, I told my mom I'd rather suffer for righteousness' sake than to suffer for wickedness' sake. At least I understand and I know why we catching hell. You could be a nigga in the world and be clueless as to why you catching hell on a daily basis. So a continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Right? I could get 1 Timothy. I could get Book of Corinthians, but this lesson has already gone on long enough. So I pray that this lesson has been edifying to those out there listening and watching. Sisters, please do not act in the manner that this woman is acting. Because best believe when Jacob's trouble comes around, unless the Lord decides to save her, this woman is cooked. So with that being said, Lord willing, it was edifying listening to those out there listening and watching them. Close it off there by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone who have taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom, and as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom, Israel. Shalom.